Welcome to another edition of the Red Zone podcast. I'm your host, Emmanuel Point du jour, and on today's episode, I will be recapping the Calgary Stampeders' 29-19 victory in Toronto against the Argonauts and making my Week 3 predictions. So, without further ado, let's get right into this recap. And I got four major talking points I want to get to for the Calgary Stampeders in this game. And the first one is Adrian Greene. He had a massive day, having two interceptions, one return for a touchdown, which actually was huge for this Calgary Stampeders team because they were struggling offensively in that first half, only getting a field goal. And Adrian Greene came up with a huge play, returned it for a touchdown, which led to that 9-4 halftime lead. Toronto scoring right before the half. And it wasn't all bad for the Calgary Stampeders offense. I mean, they couldn't run the ball all game long. I mean, Mills had 13 carries for 28 yards, but I was glad that they kept going back to it, kept that Toronto defense honest, and kept going back to the run, even though it was not working. He did have a few good runs in there, like 6 to 7 yard runs, but for the most part, it was a slow night for Mills. He got a touchdown, though, in that fourth quarter, so that was good, but a really tough night in the run game. It was those receivers who made the difference in this game. Jalen Philpott, who had a massive day, 6 receptions for 117 yards. He made some impressive catches. He trucked a dude in this game. I did not know he could do that, but man, he just had a great day. Dominic Grimes made a great catch on a flea flicker. They just made some big plays for VA to try to get this offense, going. Damian Alford had one down the sidelines in that first half for his first catch of his CFL career. Pretty much all the receivers stepping up in the absence of Reggie Begelton, who got injured early in the game. And we'll get to injuries in a bit because it hit this Stampeders team hard in this game. But Reggie Begelton going down with a leg injury, it did not look good. I wouldn't be surprised if he's on the 6-game injured list moving forward. But a lot of receivers stepping up, and you love to see it. The next point I want to get to is with Vernon Adams Jr., and he finished 17 for 25, 301 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but that's not with the passing. What impressed me was what he was able to do with his legs in this game. 7 carries, I guess, for 54 yards, and he had some massive runs. It feels like every rush he's had this year has been massive for the Stamps team, and he came up clutch in the fourth quarter with his legs, even had a touchdown late in the game to really kind of put this game to rest. But yeah, that's what impressed me the most. I mean, you may look at the 17 for 25 over the 300 yards, but for me, it was that mobility, getting outside the pocket and getting some yards with his legs. Typically, he gets outside the pocket to find a guy open. When the play breaks down, he finds a guy, but he really used his legs in this game, especially in that fourth quarter, and he came up huge. So those are the three main talking points in this game. The final talking point I want to get to is with the injuries. As I said, Reggie Begelton going down early in the game, but it was not just Reggie. It was Bryce Bell going down, Aaron Crawford, the long snapper. Rene Paredes missed 2 field goals in this game, so that probably had something to do with it. He kind of gutted it out. Really impressive by Aaron Crawford because it was looking not great. He was really limping, and he still went in there, finished the game. So kudos to him for, fighting it out. You had Markel Lee going down. I mean, there's just a ton of guys. So hopefully, moving forward, these are not too serious. But don't be surprised if, they're probably on the 6th game or at least getting a few games here to recover from their injuries and guys having to step up, especially this weekend against the Ottawa Red Blacks. So that'll do it for this recap. I thought a tale of two halves. The defense really carried the Stamps there in the first half with Adrian Greene and his two interceptions. And then the fourth quarter really was when the Stamps got going on offense. Now let's get into my week 3 predictions. In week 2, I went 3-1. Not bad after starting the week off with a loss with BC obviously losing, Winnipeg really playing well without Brady Oliveira and Zach Collaros. I don't know what Peterson, he had like 130 yards. What? They just keep making running backs there. I mean, whoever's out, Brady's out, it doesn't matter. We still got this running back that's going to run for 100 plus yards. So that was really impressive. I thought Winnipeg had a really good opening game because that was our first game of the year, and Zach Collaros will be returning for week 3 off of his suspension. So let's get into these predictions, starting with Thursday night football. We have the Montreal Alouettes traveling to Edmonton to play the Elks, and this is going to be a very, very tough match for the Elks. The Alouettes just look on fire right now, especially that defense and how good it is. The Elks didn't play terribly, as I said, after week 1 against the BC Lions. They made some plays, but it was too much of Trey Ford running around. And boy, he'll have to run around in this game because that Montreal defensive line is really, really good. So unless Edmonton can, get the ball moving through the air, they're going to have a really tough time in this ball game. Or that running game goes wild, which it could. It's going to be really, really tough to win this game. So I'm going to go with the Montreal Alouettes getting the victory and improving to 3-0 on the year. Moving on to the Friday game now, we have the Rough Riders against the Argonauts. The Rough Riders 2-0 after beating the Tiger Cats in Hamilton. Brett Lowther had, he struggled. Let's just say he had 3 missed field goals and an extra point. So that's 10 extra points just left off the board, and we'll get to that more in the CFL tiers tomorrow. But, they end up getting the victory in Hamilton. And then for the Argonauts, I just broke it down. They lost to the Stampeders 29-19. That offense is just waiting for Chad Kelly, it looks like, and trying to get healthy. I know Winton McManus went down. He did not return in the second half. So yeah, that defense obviously trying to get their leader back. But in this one, I like the Saskatchewan Roughriders getting the victory, especially if Nick Arbuckle is still the starting quarterback for the Argos. I don't think they'll be making a change there. I think it'll still be Arbuckle. So I do like the Rough Riders getting the victory. And then we got 2 Saturday games, starting off with the Red Blacks and the Stampeders. Stamps got a lot of injuries that they're dealing with. It's going to be cold too on Saturday, the first day of summer, bringing 9-degree weather to Calgary, Alberta, and wind gusts up to 66 kilometers an hour. So yeah, that's fun. But anyway, yeah, that game, they're going up against the Red Blacks. Drew Brown, I don't know if he'll get the start. I would think he'll be back for Saturday. I'm still going to go with the Stamps. I think they can grind out a victory before the bye week, get to 3-0, and then, hopefully deal with their injuries on that bye week, getting some guys back. Maybe not, but you never really know. So I'm going to go with the Stampeders there. And then Winnipeg and the BC Lions, a rematch of week 2. Winnipeg just looks so good, especially against Nathan Rourke. They've just had his number. Oh man, this is a tough game. I'm going to go with Winnipeg to get the victory. Back-to-back wins to start the year off. They're getting Zach Collaros back. They're not going to be any worse. And then Brady Oliveira obviously going to be out for a couple weeks with an injury. Nathan Rourke, we don't even know if he's going to be playing this game with an oblique injury. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Winnipeg to get the victory. I think Zach Collaros can do enough. And then Peterson in the backfield. We'll see what he can do for an encore against the same BC Lions defense. So I have the Alouettes, the Saskatchewan Roughriders, the Calgary Stampeders, and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers all getting wins in week 3. We'll see what happens. We'll be right back here next week to see how we did and to predict the week 4 games. Tomorrow is CFL tier, so stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, have a great rest of your Tuesday, and we will see you tomorrow. Peace.